Everybody's ready. We'll go ahead and open up with an opening statement from Coach.
Yeah, I want to thank Spalding for coming over and playing us tonight. Obviously, they're an institution here in the city that the city's proud of. I know the Grays, coaches over there do a phenomenal job. They're involved in the grassroots basketball at the youth level in this area. They're proud Louisvillians, is that how you say it? And they're great assets to our community. So they do a great job. They're well coached. They had a good game plan tonight. They did their best to try to limit our 3-point looks and forced us to drive the ball. I thought we responded well. We shot 72% at the rim. Got to the free throw line 36 times. It's kind of like some of the stuff you guys were asking the other day, like 55 threes. Like, is that what you want to do every night? No, we're going to do what the defense tells us to do. And they did a good job at taking that away, and I thought we exploited them in other areas. So it's good to have these 2 exhibitions under our belt, play out in the Yum Center in front of the crowd as a quote-unquote practice, but it's on for real next Monday against Moorhead, and we're very excited about next Monday.
Questions?
Coach, big night for Kaysen tonight, coming off kind of an emotional week for him. Kind of a 2-part question. What did you like out of him tonight? And did you have any experience with Amir before here? And did you know him at all?
Yes. So, coaching's a small fraternity. So we all know each other. We're all in gyms together, throughout the spring and throughout the summer. It is. It's a tight-knit community. And 16 years ago, I lost Coach Prosser, who was my mentor when he died of a heart attack at the basketball office at Wake Forest. And it was when I got the news that Amir passed away. So to answer your question, I did know him. We weren't close friends or anything. But man, is he a very, he was a very, very respected coach in the coaching fraternity. I mean, obviously he was a world-class coach, a rising star in the business, but he had such humility. He had such class. He was a man of character. And, I'm very blessed to coach Kaysen, because Kaysen's a fine young man. And to hear the way that Kaysen talked about Amir tells you everything you need to know about the quality of leader and teacher that he was. So we lost a great one, great person, great family man, great coach, and it's very sad, and Kaysen got to go back to the memorial service yesterday, got back late last night. And, we talk about the power of the unit all the time. Like, it's based on the most powerful force in the universe, and that's love. And our guys all put their arms around Kaysen to help him mourn in this really, really tough time. So Kaysen had a big night, and Corin had a big night. I think it was Rain and Fat had a big night the other night. I think one of the major strengths of our team, in fact I know, is our depth. It's not like you can look at our roster and in preparation and circle 2 names and you're like, man, those are the guys that you have to stop. It could be 2 other guys the next night that have 26 and 20, whatever they had. And that's a good thing. And, I thought Corin was sensational in the second half. His ball, I love ball speed. Man, I love when guards tilt the floor and they look like a blur getting up the floor. And when his engine's running the right way, man, he is an absolute blur. So those guys did a good job of carrying us in a lot of ways offensively and had big nights.
Coach, speak to your defense and what you've seen that you like and what you can kind of build on off these 2 exhibitions defensively.
Yeah, we played hard as crap. I don't know if I can say that. We played hard as heck. Deflected the ball, turn them over. We had like a record number of deflections tonight. So our guys respected their opponent. We talked about having excellence in each possession and each warm, each 4-minute breakdown and I thought our guys did that. We fouled too much. Some of that was kind of being overzealous on the ball, and they were a driving team. They had 2 assists on the night, and by the end of the night, give them credit. They milked the clock, not milked the clock, but they pass cut, move. And then, they picked a matchup and they put their head down. They just drove the ball. And sometimes when a team is so hell-bent on just driving, with kind of reckless abandon, it's hard. It's hard not to foul. But to their credit, they did a good job of putting foul pressure on us. And then some fouls that got us into the bonus that allowed them to get to the free throw line early, which is kind of careless, or, in some ways, hustle fouls, which I don't like dumb fouls, but hustle fouls I'll take. We had several over the backs on offensive rebounding. I love offensive rebounds off of a free throw offensively, but you can't just push a guy in the back and go over his back. We had a couple loose ball fouls, diving after the ball. I'll take those all day long. But it's some of the needless ones and careless ones that we have to clean up. So if I had to say anything about tonight, we had to do a better job of keeping them off the free throw line. I think they got to the bonus at like the 12-minute mark in the second half.
Pat, you mentioned how Spalding was doing a good job at taking away the three-pointer, but it seemed early on how it seemed you guys were operating with the intent to try and put an emphasis around the painted area. Was that the game plan coming into this game?
No, it was just that's the way they were playing us. They watched the tape. We went 24 for 55 from three the other day. Like they were like, man, we're gonna Rain Smith. We ain't letting him get any looks. And you saw Rain get in the paint, touch paint, got fouled, scored at the rim a couple times. You take what the defense gives you. So instead of shooting 55 threes, we shot whatever it was, 24 of them, but we got to the free throw line 36 times. So, the threes present themselves by playing downhill on the attack, but they were staying attached to shooters, so we did a good job of finishing at the rim.
Scary.
Coach, 24 assists on 35 baskets.
Yeah.
The way that they watch each other communicate there, how organic has that chemistry been, or how much have you had to really stress that from the outset?
Man, we have a selfless team. I think from the very beginning when we took the floor the first time down in the Bahamas, people talked about it. The way the ball moves and the way the guys share the ball. 69% of our field goals were assisted on tonight. That's high level. And, sometimes when you get in a game like this and you're up by 40 or whatever it was, it's easy to all of a sudden start going, man, I'm going to get mine. But I really thought from the 12-minute mark on, or at least probably the last 16 minutes of the second half, because the first half when we had some of those careless turnovers and we're trying to drive through two guys, if two guys play, you pass the ball. So I thought, we were trying to do a little too much and had some careless turnovers in the first half. But man, I thought, for that last 60 minutes, we really shared the ball and played connected.
Coach, and one of the things that was very noticeable from the beginning of the game is how seriously your team's demeanor is before the game, just coming out, getting ready as the starting lineups are being announced. And it seems like your team, every game throughout this exhibition season, both in the Bahamas and here in the Center, they've had a very serious demeanor about them. What do you like about your team's focus going into the games, and how does that translate to the regular season when it starts next week?
Well, it's no secret that as we move forward, we're going to play better teams, more talented teams, obviously Division I teams. We played those two teams in the Bahamas, and they had some professionals on them. And we played a college team from Canada, and then we played two non-Division I's. So, we knew these four kind of exhibitions that they were all going to be against opponents that maybe don't have the size and length and talent and things like that. And I was a stickler on respecting your opponent, excellence in the process, excellence in the scouting process, having a seriousness of purpose of what you do. Because I said, fellas, we're going to come out of this game in 40 minutes. And I didn't say, we're going to win, because there's no guarantee, but we have to come out of this game and have gotten better. We got to grow from this game. And there's a pretty good chance that we were going to have a lead in the second half, no guarantees. But when you get to that point, are you still sitting down and guarding in your gaps and executing your pick and roll coverage and sharing the ball and executing on offense? Because otherwise, we're wasting our time. We're just out there getting some conditioning in or something like that. But this group, even when we had big leads, continued to play the right way, so that I think when we get to, they're off tomorrow, we get back to practice, we can say, okay, we took a step in that game, which is really, really important as a team. You got to kind of have to continue to grow every game, every practice.
Hey Pat, you spoke about just how deep this team is, and after getting to see everybody, I get a chance to play these past two games. Now that the season's here, how do you go about building your I'm putting a rotation out. I'm heading into this first game.
Well, I mean, I think, I'll say it again, one of the great strengths of our team is our depth. We've had 4 different, guys that have scored 20 points in 2 straight games. And again, it might be 2 other guys in the next game. It could be somebody else in the game after that. A strength of our team is our depth, that we can go deep into our roster and get major contributions from everybody. And again, it goes back to the foundational principle of the culture of our program, and it's the power of the unit. There's a bunch of guys in there that aren't concerned with their playing time, with their minutes, with their rebounding totals. They're concerned with winning, and it's what can I do to help the guy sitting next to me. So whether it's a 9-man rotation, 10-man rotation, we got a group of dudes in there that are about winning, and that's why we have a chance to be really good.
Mason Russell.
Coach, you mentioned obviously the teams you played these exhibitions so far, but Coach Gray described his team more of a defensive-minded one. For a team like yourself that has passed the ball around, maybe extra passed a lot these past 2 games, was tonight a bit of a test to be able to see what you guys are still capable of when it comes to moving the ball around as you get ready for that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was good to play against a different style and philosophy offensively, right? You saw kind of what Young Harris's thing was like, man, we might be out-athleted, if that's a word, so we're really going to pack it in and dare them to shoot threes, and then we did that, and these guys played us totally different, tried to run us off the three-point line, and so it was good to have to adapt to a different style and a different approach and different strategy against us, so I thought that was good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.